Hello Libra and welcome to my channel Greenline Goddess Tarot. This is your monthly reading for November. So let's see what is coming. We have the beautiful 10 of Acorns, the 10 of Wands, responsibility and dedication. So what's been weighing you down, Libra? Where have you given a lot of yourself and you're starting to question that now? That's what I feel like with this 10 of Wands, responsibility and dedication. Because there's a lot of you that you want to, it's like I want to dedicate myself to something, or I want to feel, it's interesting. It's almost like you're wanting to take on more responsibility, but it's like a dedication, but it has to be something that you want to be dedicating yourself to. So this is like, okay, it's like freeing up your space. If this energy around you that is being called in at the moment, which is about looking at some kind of longer term cycle that is about to begin, that you want to dedicate yourself to. You're not afraid to put in the work. You're potentially wanting to bring in more stability and responsibility into your world in some way with this. But at the same time, what's taking up that space in your world at this moment? Is there something else taking up a lot of that space, so that you need to clear that out so that you could move into something different that you want to dedicate yourself to? So this is very Saturnian, Libra, and in November we're moving through Scorpio season, so there are these deep layers of transformation, going deep into truths, unveiling things, working with what's there underneath the layers, and then using that to move through these energies of deep transformation. We have a Mercury retrograde where Mercury is moving from Sagittarius into Scorpio, retrograding back into Scorpio. So our minds are thinking like a Scorpio. We're deep into something and going, okay, we're looking at those cycles of birth, death, rebirth, and how that's going to work in your world, and how this energy of transformation is happening, especially with what it is that you're doing, the energy that you're putting into something here with this 10 of Acorns, the 10 of Wands, because it's almost like your energy is being asked to go elsewhere. You know, I've dedicated my life to this, or to my job, or to this relationship, or this thing, whatever it is, and now it feels like something big and major might be shifting in relation to that. So it may be I'm been dedicated myself to helping my son's education or something like that. Just as an example, I've dedicated myself to building a career up in this particular field. And then it feels like something else is calling you. So it's like you're not necessarily dedicating yourself to the son's education anymore. Maybe you're dedicating yourself to social, something different, like social life or something, or you're looking, okay, I'm looking for a new career, a new job. There could be something and they're just two examples, you know, it could be something totally different in your life, but they're just showing me how doesn't necessarily mean you're throwing out the baby with the bathwater. For some of you, it would be, if it's like I'm leaving this job and moving somewhere else or doing something very different. But it could be something like I'm still got that relationship with that thing, but I actually want to dedicate myself to something very different now. So it feels like there's a major kind of pivot and shift that's coming in around that. So let's see what's shifting and changing for you. And the reason we're getting this very strong Saturnian energy as well is that Saturn, the planet of discipline, work, burdens that can come through with the 10 of Wands as well, is actually... and we do have Saturn coming in here, Saturn, Uranus with Aquarius, the star card, showing me that it's time to dedicate yourself to something very new and different. But Saturn is stationing to go direct at the end of the month. And so we're going to have a very strong Saturn energy at the end of the month. And this is this sense of feeling called into this rededication, this new dedication, this sense of I want to be responsible for this, whatever it is. And that's what shifting and changing is, the star card, Aquarius energy, which is all about embracing the new and doing something a little bit different. And with the Saturn Uranus standing right next to each other, Uranus is like revolutionizing something in your life, doing a big change, something very differently, but Saturn's saying, but we want you to dedicate yourself to that, to work towards that. And so the star card can be a sense that there is a new vision for your future, or that you're being guided by this energy, by this light. You're following the guidance and potentially wanting to feel more hopeful And then we have this beautiful Pentacle Queen next to it, Capricorn throne, which is a very ambitious energy in many ways. I don't normally say this about Pentacle Queen, but that's what I'm getting here for this, because of the Capricorn energy of wanting to build and grow something so that it's abundant, so that it's stable. And again, we can see the glyph of Saturn here and Mars, which is Capricorn type energy. So you're taking these structures or this thing that you're dedicating yourself to, and the Mars energy is moving it forward. I'm actually taking action with this and feels like it's really, really strong. The Pentacle Queen wants to nurture stability in some way, comfort, stability, and it feels like you're being guided towards that. The Pentacle Queen can be very loving, and it's the stable hand, it's the stable support, it's the person that you can lean upon, that energy that you can lean upon. And perhaps you're being guided to find this energy in your life at this moment in time and then dedicate yourself to it. So, and I keep being drawn to these grapes here in the Pentacle Queen, which represent ideas wanting to come to fruition. It represents abundance. So, and the Pentacle Queen very beautifully and intuitively nurtures these energies into your world in a very stable way, which is a lovely thing to come in. So that's why it's like, well, yeah, if I'm being guided towards this, I want to rededicate myself to it, or dedicate myself to this new thing that is going to bring this Capricorn type energy. And with all this Saturnian energy, it's understanding that you're in it for the longer haul, the longer term. It's not just a quick fix or a sudden change. It can be a sudden change that dedicating yourself into something new or restructuring something in your life. But at the same time, understanding that that shift is going to build and grow over time. The thing that you're rededicating yourself is going to build and grow over time. And the fruits of that labor, the grapes, are going to be something that comes after a period of working and dedicating yourself to it. So it's understanding what you're signing up for and how long you're signing up for and how much work you want to put into it. So it's no wonder that the first card that came in with the Two of Pentacles is about balance, trying to find the balance between two things in your world and maybe trying to fit all of this in. Something doesn't quite fit. And that was the very first message I got, was if all your energy is dedicated to this one thing and something else is calling you, then you have to let that thing go. And that's the sense with the Two of Pentacles, is this is the balancing act coming in here. And actually the card of balance is here as well with the Temperance card. So this is all about restoring some kind of balance here, and that's going to be really important. So Libra, I just wanted to let you know that this reading is for Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising. Always recommend to watch all three of your placements if you know where they are, because it gives you the more holistic view, a fuller picture of what's going on for you. Each one will resonate slightly differently. And Libra, this is a general reading. Just take what feels right, leave the rest. Don't take on anything that doesn't resonate or doesn't feel right for you. But if it does really resonate and you'd like to explore it further, there will be an extended reading, and the link for that will be in the description box below, where we look further into the future and look at the next steps here. So Four of Pentacles. Okay, what are you holding on to? Again, Four of Pentacles, Capricorn, the world Capricorn, Saturnian energy, and in comes the Mars of the Emperor, the Aries type energy. So we're working really strongly with these planetary influences of Saturn and Mars, which when used really well can really move a plan forward, can really put something into action, put something into motion here. And we're seeing that you're doing, like as a situation, the Two of Pentacles is you're doing a bit of juggling here. So this could be around joint finances as well, a partnership with somebody else when it comes to money, and it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be any kind of partnership. It could also just be that you're wanting to take those kind of next steps, like next practical steps. It may require a little bit of rearranging of resources or time or effort, energy or money or something like that can be coming through. So your energy might feel a little bit stretched with the Two of Pentacles. Things might come in waves. So managing your energy is going to be really important with that, but it's important to take those next practical steps. They are being blocked by the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is about trialing something, testing something out, trying something new and different, challenging yourself to do that, challenging yourself to grow. And so it may be that you are going through quite an accelerated growth period here. You are challenging yourself to grow, but it's just about managing that on a practical level. Like, how can you have all these things, balls in the air at once kind of thing? So finding that balance is going to be really important. At the base, we have the Hierophant, which is a card of commitment. So again, but it's a sense of, this is a very Taurian energy. You've got a lot of earth in this sign, in this reading, Libra, that's really standing out for me, the earth and the fire. And earth and fire together, you've got to get the balance right, because earth can put fire out and fire can burn earth. But together they can, if used well, they can germinate seeds into something new. And the Hierophant represents you working within a system that works for you already. You're not necessarily rewriting the whole book. You may be going back to something that really has worked for you in the past, or that you believe to be true that really works for you. So the Hierophant can be soul energy as well. It just feels like, but mostly I'm getting with the Hierophant, it is about finding a system or a set of beliefs, or you're kind of working within something that you're finding something that already has worked for you in the past, and that's happening at the base with the Hierophant, and then using that as the driving force to bring these changes in. So it's not like you're not reinventing the wheel, you're using the wheel in a different way and dedicating yourself to the new direction the wheel might be taking you down. So in your conscious mind, we have a Temperance card, which is a lovely, lovely card of Sagittarius. We do move into fire. We move from Scorpio energy into Sagittarius energy later in the month. And so this fire energy, once we move into the Sagittarius season, that's when things can really start moving for you as well, in a really strong, tangible way. And that's also when Saturn's going direct. So it has a sense of something solidifying, something really taking shape and form, something becoming a reality at the end of the month. So this energy in your conscious mind of the Temperance card is about finding balance. It's about not taking any kind of extreme action here. It's about just exploring something. It's a very balanced and calm approach. And the Temperance card is like, dip your toe in. You might see a path that feels more aligned to you coming up, but bring it in with moderation rather than anything extreme. Bring it in so that you can restore some sort of balance. So that's going to be really important. And with the Temperance card, it's about exploring things that are aligned to you. So it doesn't necessarily feel like you're jumping into it just yet, but you're exploring it. So that feels important with that card. We have in the recent past the King of Wands. So this King of Wands energy is around, the fire is around. So have you taken the lead in a situation in the past, or taken in some kind of leadership role, or taken the lead in your life in the past? Because the King of Wands is it, and it may be that you've already seen what action needs to be taken, and you've already said, yeah, that's what I want to do, and now how am I going to do it? That's the thing that comes through. But the King of Wands is embodying some kind of leadership, following your passion, following your creativity, and actually making something happen, taking action where it is needed. So I feel like in the past you've done this, and it may be that you've already put some of the wheels in motion with this, but it's still got a long way to go, I would say, with all these energies here, that it's going through a process, and especially with Mercury going into retrograde in November, moving from Sagittarius back into Scorpio. Mercury is our mind. And so what's going on inside your mind here with the Nine of Swords, this energy is wanting to go, we're thinking like the Scorpio, like you said, we're going back into the deep, thinking deeply about something. But what's happening inside your mind here and reworking it is this Nine of Swords. There's something playing out over and over and over. It's like, I can't stop thinking about it. Maybe it feels overwhelming. This could be mental overwhelm. Like, there's just so much to think about, so much to do. I don't know if this is possible. How can I tick all these boxes? There's a lot on my to-do list. And it could just be that you're getting stressed about it. Your mind can just be like whirling around and around and around. There's just so much going on there with the Nine of Swords. So just be aware that that can happen in the near future with the Nine of Swords, and that's exactly what the energy is. It doesn't mean it's not possible. It just means that your mind is throwing everything at it at once, and it sort of needs to be compartmentalized and broken down into smaller parts is what I would say about that. And you're turning up as the Nine of Wands, which is tired, tired, weary, soul weary, and you've been through a challenging period or overcome some challenges or risen to the challenge if something's come into your life. And it's a little bit like, I'm tired of it now. And I just kind of want that to be over. I don't have the energy for that anymore, or I want something to be easier. And the thing is, I don't want to say it's going to be easier because Saturn's involved. What it's going to be is restructured, so it might work better in terms of feeling more stable, or feeling like something that feels more prosperous, or something that feels like you can trust it in a better direction, because you're still rededicating and saying, okay, I'm going to put in the work, I'm going to dedicate myself to this. But again, the Nine of Wands is, what is it? Where are you feeling soul weary at this moment in time? What has been draining your energy with the Nine of Wands? And to look at that, because that's where it's showing you where the change needs to come in. Now, energy surrounding you is the Lovers card. I'm seeing this card coming up so much in November. I feel like there's some really significant, even life-altering choices and shifts of direction that are coming in November. And this is the same for you. You might see other people. This is the energy surrounding you with the Lovers card. So firstly, there might be a Gemini around you. That might be something that this is a significant person around you at this time. But also the Lovers card is saying maybe you're seeing other people making all these like big shifts and changes and life choices, and that's sort of got your mind ticking in some way. There is something that is presenting as a big choice around you, and that is something that, I think is overhanging all of this reading. Hopes and fears, we have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is saying you don't want to do it all on your own. It's a collaborative energy, and an energy where everybody's sort of sharing the load as well, even though you might be the driving force of it, or you might be taking a bit more of a leadership role here. Everyone has their part to play, and so it's like, don't take on too much. That's all yours. This is where everybody can take on some of the burden, and this might be something you really want, and it might be something you don't want as well. So it's in hopes and fears. But we do have as an outcome, in comes the Emperor, boom, and the World card. Emperor's going, right, taking control, putting an end to something, and let's just be very sensible about resources and money for the moment while I'm setting up these new foundations. There's a very strong sense that something is definitely ending here with the World card, and you're being asked to step up into the role of leading the charge when it comes to being able to wrap this up in your world, but also where you're ready to embrace the new. So the Four of Pentacles can be, what are you holding on to for fear of letting go? Because the World card is saying something is ending here. And the Emperor is saying you can be in control and make this new thing happen, make this new dedication happen, and make something a concrete reality here. But it may require you being very sensible about money. It may require you working. It may require you tying up loose ends and finishing and completing things. And cycles need to end here. And the Emperor comes in very strongly. So if this is not you, someone else might come in and feel like they're in control. This is your opposite sign, Aries, here with the Emperor. So if you've got any Aries around, it may be that there's something concluding and finishing for that other person. They don't have to be an Aries, actually. They're just saying now, the guides. It's just this person, somebody that takes up a lot of space. Like, look at them. The Emperor is very strong. Somebody who's an authority, somebody who you might consider a lot, or refer to, or defer to even, or somebody who has a strong skin in the game, somebody who has a strong opinion as well, could be around you. So there might be something finishing up for them that impacts you. And this doesn't have to be a relationship. I mean, it could be a child, like a romantic relationship. It could be a child finishing a term of school or something like that. It could be a partner that finishes a job, or it could be somebody that graduates school or university. It could be a boss that says, right, we're restructuring. It could be anybody that comes in here with the Emperor. It could be a father figure or a parent that is fairly authoritarian and saying, right, there's some kind of big shift and change happening with them. Either way, it's going to impact you. So you have an opportunity here to make a big shift and change here in your life. And other people around you are going to be doing similar things, and they're really going to be impacting you. It's quite complicated how your actions are intertwined with other people. So it's almost like you can't make a choice and decision here without considering all these other people, understanding the implications of how they're going to be affected, and vice versa. Someone else might come in very assertive and say, right, that's it, I'm ending this, this is finishing, this is not what I want anymore, and it's all changing, and that's going to have an effect on you as well. So the message I'm getting here, Libra, is to be ahead of the game, to step into your power and be the authority as the Emperor, and to be able to work through these changes, because you're setting up some new foundations in many ways in something in your life related to the material realm, whether it's come down to money, your health, or it could be to do with the living situation or wealth creation, career advancement, business expansion. It can be all of these things that comes in. It can also be to do with what stage your relationship's at this moment in time. And it's like getting down to the foundations. You can take control of the situation here. And so it feels like you find yourself at this very powerful pivot point where it's like a major restructuring in your life, I would say. And we know with Scorpio that there's going to be these major themes of birth, death, and rebirth. With the World card, this is a major ending that's coming through here. But you have a choice, because the Star card's guiding you towards something new. And so we're not necessarily seeing the new in this reading, interestingly. A lot of the other signs are getting very strong messages of something new birthing in November. For you guys, I feel that, but it feels like more like a big change, a complete change, a major turning point, rather than a birth, because of this very strong Saturnian energy. It's like you're taking this very seriously, and perhaps more seriously than a lot of the other signs, which is interesting. But there's a gravity, there's a weight to what's shifting here for you, Libra. And we have as an overall energy the Eight of Cups, and it's where be aware of the moons. Like there's the Taurus full moon that's happening on the 5th, and we also have the Scorpio new moon happening on the 21st. So be aware of the moons, because the moon cycles might be significant points where you have an emotional shift as to how you're feeling, how attached you are to some of the things in your life. And these emotional flows and shifts are actually going to be what is like a tide that pulls you through the month, that somehow brings you. It's not something that's like, okay, I go from A to B to C. It's sort of like I float to A, and then I float along to B, and then I might float to C. And either way, these shifts that are coming in, I feel like there's two main ones around those moons. But either way, these shifts that are coming in for you are more like, oh no, I don't feel like doing that anymore. I feel differently about that now. And it's more just going with the flow of where this is taking you, and trusting it's going to take you to the right path, because I don't feel like you land on anything really, really concrete until the end of the month. And so this is where it's like, be prepared to have these emotional shifts about how connected you're feeling to things, or how fulfilling things are feeling for you, because, the first week of Scorpio season of November might be, not of Scorpio season, but of November, might feel very differently to the second week and the third week. And it's more about where you land in the end of it that's going to be the significant thing. But just understand you're going to go through these emotional shifts that are actually going to be almost like shifting your perception and your direction. So to go with that. So let's pull an affirmation card for Libra. What does Libra need to know? What does Libra need to know? Affirmation card for Libra, that one fully flew out. My income is constantly increasing. Fantastic. I begin now today to open myself to ever increasing prosperity. So those words of income, prosperity, and wealth are things that you're possibly going to be working with quite strongly this month. And there's opportunity, like I said, to pivot and restructure something in your life so that it's working for you and to receive the guidance around that you need. All right, Libra, let's pull a charm for you and see what charm is coming in for Libra. What is the charm for Libra? We have the peace symbol. Okay. So ultimately, what underlines all of this is what is the thing that's going to give you the greatest feeling of peace. And that is not something to be underestimated. As you're going through these huge flows and shifts and rethinking, restructuring something in your life, it really feels, firstly, you can feel peaceful going through that if you're feeling really connected and really grounded. That can happen, but we don't always feel that way. You can sometimes get like with the Nine of Swords, I don't feel like that's a very peaceful energy. But where you want to land is something that you're at peace with, that this feels right. And that is the message that's coming through with the peace symbol. It may be that you're making the peace or making peace with a big choice and decision that comes in for you, a big shift. So that's your reading, Libra. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to take it over to the extended reading now because we get this sense of something very powerful and concrete comes in with the Emperor and the World card. And it's like I've landed on something. I've found the direction, I've found the structure, I've made my choice and decision. And then it's like, where to next? Whoever this Emperor is, whether it's you or somebody else, they're controlling and driving the show. So what are the next steps? Where to next? And let's go up to the higher realm and see what's happening in those higher realms for you. Let's look at the soul energies and tune into that. I'll tune in energetically for you as well, pull some cards around that as well, as we'll get some messages from Archangel Michael, and we'll look at what is transforming in your world at this moment in time. So all of that is in the extended reading. Love it if you come over. The link is in the description box below. I usually pin the link to the comments as well. And please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read all your comments. And all of that helps with the growth of the channel. I truly appreciate it. And take care, Libra.